What's up, guys? This is Tabletop Vibes, and today we're taking a look at Cosmic Conquest by Rising Empire Studios. This game is awesome. So, for starters, it's kind of like the prerequisite to Alpha Clash, which Alpha Clash is an awesome TCG card game, and now they have a board game, which is super cool. So, essentially, you're in the cosmos, and you're in this massive battle to save the universe, or for the galaxy. The fate of the universe and galaxy is hanging in the balance, and you have to assemble your team of contenders to battle to then win, hopefully, and, well, save your portion of the galaxy or take over the galaxy and crush your foes. The really cool part about this game is, so there's a ton of characters. Each character team that you get to have is made up of a sentinel, a destroyer, and a savior. Oh my gosh, I'm going to show these on the screen, but you have like the coolest, like the art is amazing. So if you've ever seen Alpha Clash, the card game, the art is outstanding. They've just constantly been growing and manipulating it to be even cooler than it was. And then this Cosmic Conquest is blowing it out of the water, in my opinion. It is super cool. All your characters have an awakened side, which is essentially like the OP dope side. So you start off your character or your contenders at 20 health. And then if you get knocked out and down depleted underneath 20 health, you flip it over to the other side and you then have 15 health. Why would you do this? Everyone's battling each other, or you can battle each other to take control. The winning of the game is gaining gambit points, which I think one of the coolest portions of this game is almost everything you do is giving you some sort of experience to spend to get better cards, to get weapons, to then, or gain gambit points. If you get to 20 gambit points before everybody else, you win. Or if the turnaround times out, everybody has 10 turns, and then if that ends, then whoever has the most gambit points at the end of that time then wins. So there's a couple phases. So first, you're going to set up a 3x3 grid of planets, because there is a conquest mode, which we'll get into, not mode but phase, where you can take over planets that are either inhabited by other opponents or not, and then you can also get more gambit points. The really awesome thing about this game too is everything is done on these really cool spinners. Your gambit points you can track really easily. It also tells you how you're going to get gambit points on this. Planet conquering, planet overthrow. When you deal 5 more damage to an opposing character, contender, collectively restore 6 health or more to a contender you control. Defeat an opposing unraveled contender. So you have an unraveled side and an awakened side. Or defeat an opposing awakened character. And then you get end of game bonus points. So like it lays it out like super clear for all the things that you get gambit points for. On the player boards, on the contender boards, you have the health, and then so 20 and you bring it down. And you have your cooldown, which is really cool. So in right? No pun intended. But you have all these different dials on here, which they just did a really great job of the quality of it. So I really like that aspect. So let's go into the first phase of the game. Essentially, it's called the recovery phase. You're going to bring your cooldown because you're spending your action points, 2 action points on your turn, to then either move, which you can move left or right, up and down. You cannot move diagonally, or you can then be placed in combat, which we'll get into. So you do your cooldown, and then you get experience, which is really cool because you do your cooldown, you gain experience, and then you go into the armory phase. And so the armory phase is there's a huge deck of cards in this game that have weapons, different like abilities that you can play while you're being attacked, while you're attacking others. And there's 5 cards out there in the row in the market, and you can spend your experience points to buy those cards, attaching weapons. Obviously, if your contender gets knocked out and you have a weapon on it, it gets discarded. Then you flip your contender over to the unraveled side, and you get 15 health, and you go back at it. But then you have the armory phase. After the armory phase, you have combat phase, where if you're in the same region as somebody or planet, you can then attack. You're going to pick your contender who you want to lead with against another person's contender, and you roll the attack dice, which are red, blue dice that are defense, and then you compare, you add abilities, you play your cards out, And then you see who wins. You deal damage accordingly and gain gambit points in relation to what you do to that opponent and with your contenders. And then you have the ability to do conquest, which is really cool because then you're going to go take over planets, right? So you're fighting on the ground, you're fighting and just coming in and taking over planets. And there's such a lot of cool planets in this game too, and they're really beautiful. All the art in this game is astounding, which will show up on the screen. And then you also can do a traverse action, which you expend 2 experience points, and you can go to any planet. So the really big fun part about this game, I think for me, is this is my team. I was showing you the team that I like the best. Alpha, Aster, he just looks awesome. He kind of looks like Thanos, but way cooler. Fangian, he's just a massive dragon. Like, who doesn't like that? He's the destroyer. Alpha is the sentinel, and then the savior on the team that I like to play as the most is Kefarius. Scarab regeneration. So they all have asymmetric abilities and things you can do. I mean, I think that's like the really coolness of this game is there is literally so many characters. They come with little acrylic standees, which they're really great as well. And they have a little stand that you can put them on so they're not falling all over the board, which is also helpful. And so you just have a wide variety of characters and a team that you can build and try out all these different combinations because, right, maybe this guy's really good with this person, but he's not that great over here. But that's the fun part. Assemble your team and then get out there and battle your friends, opponents, and make enemies and take over the galaxy is pretty much what you're going to want to do. But yeah, it's just, it's a ton of fun. It's really well made. Everything about this game, the quality is good. And I'm pretty sure this is just a prototype. So if this is the prototype, I can't even wait to see what the final production is going to be because it's going to be insane. But yeah, it's just a lot of fun. It's easy to learn. The rules are simple and the phases are straightforward. And while you play, it comes down to how you want to attack your opponent, when to do so, how to use your abilities, when to play cards out. It's amazing. So it's coming out very soon, so keep a lookout for it. Yeah, it's just a lot of fun. 2 to 4 players, and it does play pretty quick because you're only playing to 20 points, gambit points, or you're playing to 10 to 10 turns. Obviously, I think if you wanted to, there's probably going to be different game modes that you can play as. You could probably, if you wanted to play a longer game, you could probably just bump it up for fun based on your group or what you want to do. But again, Cosmic Conquest, amazing. Definitely check them out. And this has been Tabletop Vibes. Like, subscribe, and comment on if you played the Alpha Clash TCG. I have. It's also great. I've done some other content for them as well. So go check that out. And keep a lookout because this game is coming out very soon. And it's going to be amazing. You don't want to miss it. So thanks for watching. We'll check you next time.